What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video, and welcome to your stimulus check update, stimulus package, and infrastructure update and daily news report for Tuesday, September 7th. Today, I'm going to bring you a lot of updates. First off, in about 3 weeks, we're going to be seeing a lot of new proposals. We got some major deadlines coming up. I want to break down everything that is currently going on, what Congress will be looking at, what Democrats are fighting for, and what progressives say they didn't get. So, I'll be addressing all that in today's video. First, I just want to say I am starting to do some more videos over on TikTok where I'm going to take your questions that you leave down in the comment section of these videos. I'm going to take those questions and I'm going to answer them over on TikTok in just specific videos. So if you have any questions, please ask them down in the comment section below. Also, make sure you follow me at Real Adam Snyder over on TikTok. I'll put the link down in the description box below as well. Now, let's jump into the update. Currently, lawmakers are wondering how they're going to get everything done this month that they currently have on their schedule. Some say it's not possible. But just yesterday, we saw the unemployment benefits expire. Many progressives were very upset by this because they didn't want this to happen. However, this was just the start. This was just the start of things that lawmakers were fighting over, were the unemployment benefits. Over 8 million people lost all their income in one day. Now, we don't know. This could be good. This could be a good thing for the jobs, for the jobs reports this next month. This could be a great thing for the unemployment rate, but just in the short term, this isn't good because people are losing their income. And let me know down in the comment section below. Are you one of those people that pretty much you've been trying to get a job, you're getting your unemployment benefits, and all of a sudden they're gone? Are you one of those people? I'm just curious, how many people here currently are not working or were not working? Maybe you got a job over the past day. Now, that was just the first thing. That was just the first step. Now, on September 15th, this is when the reconciliation bill draft is supposed to be due. According to many people, they say this is a deadline that most likely they will not hit. Some say they will be there, but as far as the entire bill and every piece of legislation, it will not be submitted to Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. Not at that time. But he wants to have all the legislation so that he can put it together and it can be debated. Again, this is another deadline. This is another self-imposed deadline. But the goal with the September 15th date is so that they can get this bill debated in time to vote on it and pass it before October 1st. We also know on September 27th, this was a deadline that was set by Speaker Nancy Pelosi. This is the House deadline for voting on that $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill. This is for roads, bridges, railways, roadways, things like that. But what I can tell you, if this bill is not ready, okay? If this bill is not ready to be voted on, which means the $3.5 trillion bill hasn't been voted on and passed. If the $1.2 trillion bill doesn't get there, okay, we're going to see moderates, they're going to start pushing back against that $3.5 trillion bill. We are going to see Republicans very upset that they spent all this time and effort working on this bill when now Democrats are holding that bill hostage over that $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill. That is that Democrat-only budget reconciliation. Well, this is September 27th. This is in 20 days. 20 days. Little less than 3 weeks. We're supposed to have this vote. Now, many lawmakers do not believe that this will happen. They don't believe this will happen because of that $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill. Some say that's going to be almost impossible to get all Democrats on board. I don't know. We'll see. But again, as I know more there, I promise I will fill you in on that update. On September 30th, this is when the government funding runs out. This is also when the surface transportation and flood insurance programs expire. We've known this. Every year, September 30th rolls around and the government's trying to fund the fiscal year for the next year. And last year, we struggled. It didn't get passed until, the end of December? Right? We just kept getting pushed back, and finally it passed. So we'll see what happens there. We also have, sometime during this fall, we have to increase the debt limit. That's one of the things we have to do. Now, many lawmakers say that this is going to be included into the budget reconciliation if they can't agree with Republicans on this. But Republicans have already said they will not raise the debt limit. And if they don't raise the debt limit, there's going to be a lot of cuts. There's going to be a lot of cuts. There's going to be a lot of things we cannot do, we cannot afford as a country. This is not going to be great. We also hear from multiple senators that they say that they would normally be worried about their full schedule because, again, the Senate, they come back next week. They come back next Monday. But the House of Representatives, they don't come back for an additional 2 weeks. The House of Representatives, they come back on September 20th. The Senate, they come back on September 13th. So, between September 20th and September 27th, 7 days. I don't think we're going to get a lot done in just 7 days. And that will be 7 working days because, according to multiple senators, they say they have gotten accustomed to working weekends, and that is something that they must continue to do, especially in this upcoming session. So we'll see what happens there. Now, I got a question the other day. I want to answer this. Again, if you guys have questions, please put your questions down in the comment section below. And I'm going to answer those, yes, in video form here on YouTube. But I'm also going to do videos over on TikTok on that specific question. So you don't have to go through a bunch of videos to try to find that one answer. I will just address it in a TikTok video. So make sure you go and click that link down in the description box below. Go follow me there. But one of the questions we got the other day was, what happens to the Democrats' final budget reconciliation if they don't use it by the end of this fiscal year? Well, if they don't use it, they lose it. It's that simple. It doesn't get carried over into the next year. But they will still have 3 more budget reconciliations for fiscal year 2022. So, if they don't use the one this year, they're just going to miss that opportunity. And that's not something that Democrats want to do. That's one of the reasons why they're pushing to get this done before October 1st. But keep this in mind, that if they don't get this done, okay, and they might not, we don't know. Some are a little worried that they're not going to get it done. They still have it for next year. So they can still do it. The only problem with pushing it off is they take one of their budget reconciliations for next year. In addition to that, depending on how far this gets pushed back, this could actually impact the midterm elections. So we're going to see what happens there. We also know that many lawmakers are pushing to get their own agendas included into this $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill. Many progressives at this point, and especially now more than ever, progressives have been pushing for stimulus checks, additional relief to the American people. They've been fighting for more assistance, a larger infrastructure bill, all these different things, right? Immigration reform, a lot of different priorities. Well, they say now more than ever, because yesterday, when the unemployment benefits expired for over 8 million people, that hit them hard. That hit them hard because that was something they were fighting for. Well, they're now pushing to see additional relief to those that now can't pay rent, can't put food on the table, can't pay for their everyday necessities that they need to survive and live. The Progressive Party is going to push for more stimulus wherever it can come from. Whether this is going to be a stimulus check, more unemployment benefits, increased tax credits, provide assistance somewhere else, nutrition assistance, more rental assistance, whatever, mortgage assistance, it doesn't matter. They're going to provide more assistance so that those can be taken care of. Those people that are hurting can be taken care of. So, yes, additional assistance is coming. We just don't know what it's going to look like. That's the hardest part at this point is, and I get this question all the time, are we going to get a stimulus check or not? And I go back and forth that yes, we are going to get a stimulus check. Or no, we may not get a stimulus check, but we will get stimulus. I just don't know what it's going to look like, who it's going to go to. In the TikTok video I did yesterday, again, if you haven't gone to go and watch that or go to follow me over on TikTok, make sure you go and do that now. Again, I'll put that link down in the description box below. Just go and follow at Real Adam Snyder, and you can join me there. But yesterday I addressed how some lawmakers were asking, what is the government going to do with the funding or the previous funding for the military budget for Afghanistan? And they said they estimate about $300 million per day is what we spent over the past 20 years. Well, I did the math, and just $300 million over 1 year, okay? Over 1 year, 365 days. That comes out to about $109.5 billion, which would actually provide a $1,400 stimulus check to roughly 78.2 million Americans. So, there are lawmakers that are asking, what are we going to use that money for? Are we just going to push it right back into the Pentagon and right back into the military budget? Or can we reallocate that and use it somewhere else? Now, that money could be used to save, because technically $300 million per day over 10-year period, over a decade, which that $3.5 trillion bill is supposed to run, that's going to save us a lot of money. That could essentially pay for the entire bill. I haven't done the math on that, but that could essentially pay for the entire bill in most cases. Again, it's about $109 billion times 10 years. So what is that? About $1.1 trillion. So essentially it's not going to pay for the 3.5, but it's going to pay a decent amount of that bill. So again, that's another option. But I answered that question over on TikTok just yesterday. So again, make sure you go follow me there. Also, right now the key that progressives are saying is the key to moving forward is, will moderates accept the fact that more people need help? Yes, we understand the jobs market is coming back, that we're rebounding as an economy, the unemployment benefits expired, but there's more jobs than people. So every single person should be able to go get a job. The problem is, will it happen? We don't know. But what I can tell you is over the next 2 weeks, just 2 weeks, we will have a good indication of, okay, are people hiring again? How is the jobs market looking? Do we still have a decent amount of people on unemployment? Or, and here's the thing that could make things very tricky, are more people going on unemployment every single week? If they are, there's a reason for that. That'll be the Delta COVID variant or the Mu variation. So we will see what happens there. But again, next couple of weeks will be very telling as to where we move forward as a country. Also, in other news, it's actually pretty interesting that El Salvador is actually the first country to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. This was a huge move because many people say that this is only going to cause more countries to follow suit. The president of El Salvador says it's going to save them hundreds of millions of dollars per year in order to use this, which is going to be great. But a few experts say that this is just going to increase and fuel money laundering. So we'll see what happens, but I think this was an interesting move. Many people say that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies should be used in Afghanistan as well, but we will see what happens there. Now in COVID news, very interesting stories out this morning. The U.S. now has reached 40 million COVID cases. These are recorded COVID cases. 4 million of those were actually counted in the last 4 weeks. Yesterday, on Labor Day, the COVID cases reported were 137,270 on a 7-day average. That's a decent amount. Last year, in 2020, on Labor Day, we reported only 39,355 cases. That too was on a 7-day average. Now, many say that the surge is just starting to take off, and this is something that we have never seen before. We haven't seen cases like this. Others say that this isn't about the new surge. People are just tired of being cooped up and being told what to do. And let me ask you this question. Are you being tired of being told what to do? You being tired of just cooped up in your house or whatever, can't do anything? This is one of the reasons why many people are traveling, doing other things, and COVID cases are increasing because, yes, people are getting tired. They're sick and tired of this COVID issue. So they're starting to try to take their normal lives back. Experts still say this is something that we need to be careful of until we are all fully vaccinated. Well, Cuba took this one step further. Cuba started vaccinating children from the ages of 2 and up. So if you are 2 years old and older, you can be vaccinated. The goal of this was to have all children vaccinated before schools reopen. And the vaccine is one that is only locally produced in Cuba, and it's not recognized by the World Health Organization. They have said that their local clinical trials have shown that this vaccination, this particular vaccination, has an efficacy rate of over 90%. So I don't know what's going to happen there. This could be a very interesting move. Who knows? Chances are, if Cuba is the only country, okay, that has vaccinations for children, and we've seen this before. We've seen this when people from, I think, India or China would come fly over to the U.S. because we had vaccines at the time when they didn't. We will see. People could be traveling to Cuba very soon. So, as I know more, I promise I will fill you in on all latest news and updates. Again, I just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.